Hi, it's Em here. Today I'm going to talk about pentominoes, specifically answering the second question on problem set 4. So let's get into it. Alright, so pentominoes are polygons in the plane made of 5 equal-sized squares connected edge to edge. This is the definition from Wikipedia. So as we found in class, there are 12 total pentominoes, with all rotations and reflections counting as the same pentomino. Along with that, pentominoes are described by the letter that they kind of look like, and not all of them look like letters. Some of them are a bit of a stretch, but I'll be using these letter references throughout the rest of my presentation. So our problem was to pick a pentomino from a full set of 12 pieces, and if possible, use 4 of the remaining 11 pieces to construct a similar pentomino with each dimension 2 times longer than the original. So basically with this, I doubled. It seemed a little confusing at first, but I just doubled each pentomino and tried to recreate the pentomino with the pieces that I had left. So pentomino F was the first one that I tried, and I doubled it on a piece of graph paper and tried to recreate it with the pieces, and unfortunately I could not recreate it. As you can see, I attempted to recreate it with pentomino P, T, and L. Pentomino I could be recreated. I used pentomino P, pentomino N, I, and L to recreate this image. Once again with L, I duplicated that image, and then I used pentomino P, N, I, and L to recreate it. Pentomino N could also be recreated. I recreated it with P, U, I, and L. Pentomino P could be recreated with pentomino P, pentomino N, pentomino Z, and pentomino V. Pentomino T could not be recreated. I attempted with pentomino L, W, and P. Pentomino U could be recreated with pentomino L, P, Z, and V. Pentomino V could not be recreated, unfortunately, but pentomino P, I, and L were used in my process. Pentomino W could be recreated. I used pentomino P, N, V, and Z. Pentomino X could not be recreated, but I tried pentomino P, L, and Z in my process. Pentomino Y could not be recreated, but I tried with pentomino P, L, and I. And finally, pentomino Z could be recreated. I used pentomino P, Y, V, and L in its recreation. So here's a summary of my findings when I was doing this duplication and recreation. And I found that pentominoes that could be recreated were pentomino I, L, N, P, U, W, and Z. Pentominoes that could not be recreated were F, T, V, X, and Y. So 7 recreated and 5 not created. I can do math. All right, so some notes. All shapes that worked had P in them. So all of the shapes that could be recreated, let's go back to Z, all had this P shape within them. I thought that was really interesting. Along with that, letters F, T, W, and X were never in a recreated shape. So I never used those pieces in trying to recreate. And I found that was because all of these have the length and width of 3 units. So if we go back to X, the entire shape is 3 units long and 3 units up. And if we're just doubling a shape, I'm never going to need a length of 3. That's always going to cut off my shape and make it so I can't finish it. So I never use those in my recreations. Alright, and finally, the last thing I found is for all letters except X, I only needed one other P for the shape to work. So if I go back to letter Y, which did not work, I just needed one more P shape. If I could duplicate that P shape, I would have been able to recreate it. So awesome. I'll just leave it on the summary page. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a chance to mess around with some pentominoes soon. I know I had a lot of fun. So great. Thanks.